Hello, Jasmine. It was a pleasure watching your video regarding the informed consent forum. When listening to your video, it did remind me so much of the research information that I had done when selecting my specific informed consent form. And I find it interesting that even though you and I live in different states, the overall flow of the consent forms are pretty much the same, with a few exceptions which allow professionals to add in certain topics which may cater to their specific needs or services that they're providing within their business. The question that you posed at the end was very interesting. I know currently at my housing agency that is contracted by the DC Department of Human Services, when I first started working at the agency, text messages and email communications were not considered a billable service, and they were only allowing us to bill for face-to-face services. That was in September when I started with the agency, and I would say around January, maybe February of this year, as time progressed and I guess technology begins to take over even for clients that we provide services to, they came up with a document that clients are able to sign, which is a electronic form. And in that form, it basically states that if for some reason your case manager contacts you via text, via FaceTime, or via email, that all of those can now be used as billable services, as long as the case manager is able to prove that they're providing productive and purposeful service to the client. So I think in terms of trying to figure out if text messaging and emails are considered an essential or productive, maybe meaningful form of communication, that's something that I'm trying to figure out. Is, are counselors able to choose that on their own, or is that something that the state is going to have to say, yes, when it comes to professional counseling, emails, text messages, FaceTime calls, anything that is not face-to-face contact but still provide services, are those going to be considered essential, as it provides the same services and supports that you would provide if you were face-to-face with one of your counselors? So I think we will have to be very careful about the text messaging. For example, people with children, you may find that the children are texting the counselor, and then the counselor ends up communicating with the minor, thinking it's the client that they're providing services for. And then that could lead to a whole bunch of different things as far as confidentiality is concerned, especially if the counselor is not providing services to the family as a whole and is just working with one individual. So those are my thoughts on that particular question that you posed in your video. It was definitely informational, and I enjoyed watching and just hearing about how the states differ, but they also are so similar in many cases. So look forward to answering some more of your questions and getting some feedback on what your thoughts are as far as emails and text messages are concerned, since those are not direct face-to-face forms of communication and service providing with the clients.